What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Indigo Park Chapter 1 in Minecraft. This is part 6, and in this one, we're going to be kind of just getting this whole back area laid out here. Getting all the bottom walls along with the floor, and we don't do the brick wall yet. But, yeah, we at least get it all kind of ready and prepped for the next part. Anyway, that's all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. I'm gonna start off this part with some good news. There's no more of the pixel art things like those in this next section, so that's good. But we're gonna start off by getting out the following materials for this. Cyan concrete. What part number is it? I forgot. I do know, actually. It's 6. Crimson slabs. Warped stairs. The infamous tinted glass. I don't know why it's infamous. It just is. Black concrete and purple concrete. I don't know why the one window is just purple, but it is, so, you know. Polished deep slate. I used birch fences. However, you might want to use pale oak, because I don't think I updated that. I don't think when I updated this map, pale oak was out yet, actually. And we're gonna go with acacia wood. That sounds like a good plan. Where is it? There it is. So oh god, on both sides here from these kind of entrances, you want to, from the bottom magenta terracotta on really both sides, extend back with 5 cyan concrete for now. Both sides and both pathways. Like so. The outer one on both sides, you want to go front to back and place 2 cyan concrete, 2 crimson slabs, and then 1 cyan concrete. Which, my mouse wheel is not mouse wheeling. Just gotta warm it up, I don't know. It should give you this. On also both sides, behind both the current blocks we have on those outsides, you'll place polished deep slate. And then from the inside, you can just add another cyan concrete for now, right? Or is that also polished deep slate? It's also polished deep slate on this side, but I guess I'll just make it polished deep slate on both, so I'll do the 2 tall, like so. Really only matters on, from my perspective, the left. Anyway, for the windows where the crimson slabs are, you want to bring the cyan on either side of it up by 3. Oh god. I'll then connect together those cyans with opposite on warp stairs. It'll kind of just face towards each other. And again, the window on this side, the left, you're just blocking off with purple concrete, a block within it. The other side is like these windows here where it's the tinted glass, and then you'll surround that in black concrete. Yeah, I don't know why the one is purple, but it is, so should give you this. You can, on top of the windows, place 2 rows of cyan concrete. And then really just bring up all these kind of walls up to that height with also cyan concrete, including over the polished deep slate and stuff. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. I've been working on SpongeBob. I was doing SpongeBob's Pineapple as the like first major SpongeBob tutorial that I plan to do, and I was fighting for my life with that build. Not actually, but I was struggling. It took me like 40 minutes just to get the shape right. It was awful. But finally, and then another like probably 40 additional for the kind of orange weird almost checkerboard, not checkerboard, but the lines that are on it. Anyway, on the right side specifically, actually the left side, sorry, I'm looking at it inverted on the PlayStation. You'll take the top polished deep slates and connect them together with birch fences. On the actual right side, you will take the polished deep slate closer to the middle, which will be the left side here, and you'll place a row of acacia wood facing up inside of it. Can we clear our inventory? Technically, yes. So yeah, we'll do it. And you'll get out the following. Pale oak button. Dark oak fence gates. Blackstone. This time it is blocks. I think that's the first time we've used not slabs. Crazy. Andesite. Andesite slabs. And we'll just go spruce fence gates for now. So starting from the side that we're currently on the side of the acacia wood that is kind of facing towards the front entrance of the build, you want to place a pale oak button. Connecting this bottom acacia wood to this bottom polished gypsum, you'll place a couple of dark oak fence gates. You can open one if you want, or open both of them. I have them both closed, but I mean, you would walk into it and you would just do that, so it doesn't really make a difference. Also on this side, if you take the top kind of corner of cyan concrete, you're going to count towards the front of the build by 1 and connect those together with blackstone. You'll then go up diagonally, what would be back, except kind of towards the build, front of the build with more blackstone, away from you, basically. Cool. Heading to the other side, this row of cyan, this like left wall is going to be an exception to something we're going to do in a second, but we're going to do this wall first. So excluding the backmost cyan, or I guess frontmost cyan, the one closest to you, which is this corner, on top of every single other one, you'll place an andesite block and then a slab. Oh, is it 2 blocks? It's 2 blocks, I apologize. I just noticed you want to at least make sure that is sealed off. Heading from the finish area to the side we've been kind of working from, you want to place 3 slabs, gap, and then 2 slabs, all to the right of this row. This last one will overhang, that is fine. Place a row of andesite blocks underneath all those slabs, and also join the gap here. And then I'll place under this furthest forward block, so closest to us, an upside down slab. Then just kind of going back from it or away from you, you'll place a block, and then 2 more upside down slabs. Off of this particular row of blocks, you're going to the right of each one, except for this one closest to you, you're going to place spruce fence gates kind of coming off of them, like so. Just a large rock. I don't know what that would actually entail, though, because thinking about the other side, like, there's nothing that would go across like that, so I don't know what that's for, but anyway. You can clear your inventory once again and get out the following. We're back to the same old, same old. Purple concrete, crimson trapdoors, magenta terracotta, cyan concrete, stripped birch wood, warped slabs, andesite walls, and anything else that is really going to be helpful right now? Honestly, well, I guess purple carpet, that actually would be it. But other than that, I don't think there's anything for this last slot. So we're just going to leave it open. Actually, no, I'm going to go crimson slabs. Because, yeah. So on top of each of these cyans, you want to place, except for this, actually the one closest to you on each of the 4 rows, you want to leave that one open. But on the rest of them, you want to place 2 purple concrete and then a purple carpet on top from there. We leave this one open because this will actually be part of a pillar on all of them. So, and then obviously the far one, as I mentioned, is going to be an exception. Because the only block is this close one, but that'll have 3 purple on top, which we'll do later, not yet. You will take each of these bottom polished deep slates and extend them back with 2 purple concrete. You then want to extend each of them out, so away from each other. I guess technically it'd be, these 2 would be going towards the center ones, like the middle, and then these ones will be going out. But you'll go whatever direction with a crimson trapdoor on the bottom half of that. Don't forget a purple concrete under that trapdoor, and then from that trapdoor you'll go out with another purple concrete. So I'll show you what it looks like, because again, my explaining is sometimes a little sketchy. It will look like this. Mickey Mouse? It's a lot of Mickey Mouse. You will, from those inner ones, take these purples and extend them back with a cyan. You'll then go, still on both sides, back diagonally in with a strip birch wood. That should face up. Annoying to place again, but you'll get there. And you'll take that left strip birch and bring it right with an andesite wall, and then another stripped birch. The left you'll just bring in with 2 strip birch. You can wait until later to make them all upward facing if you want, but I just feel like there's no point in waiting, so I'm going to do it all now. Bring either strip birch forward diagonally in with a cyan concrete, forward with a purple, and then you technically want a crimson trapdoor with a purple concrete below. You, at least on my build, I have like a dirt pile here, so you can't see that trapdoor. It would end up being replaced with a dirt block later, but I'm not worried about that yet. So on both sides from this point, you are doing the same thing from these outer cyan, or purples, not cyans, these ones. You're going to go back diagonally out with a cyan. Then back diagonally out with a strip birch, which you will bring out by 3. So you want a total row of 4. These are so fun to place upward. I'm having a great time. Yeah, okay. You'll then go forward diagonally out with a cyan, and then forward diagonally out with a purple. You'll go out from that purple with your crimson trapdoor with the purple under it, and then out from that trapdoor with another purple. Then back diagonally out with a cyan. Back diagonally out with a strip birch wood facing up that you will bring out by 3 if you can. On this side, you can. The left. However, on the right, you'll place the 1 and you'll be like, huh, I'm against a wall. You can remove this corner though, so I'm going to bring this 1 further. And then, making sure you kind of count that 4, you would go out diagonally forward with another cyan. So I'll just take the 3rd spruce over and I'll place the cyan in front of it on that side. Hard to notice because we'll have a rock wall here that'll block pretty much you from being able to see that spruce at all, but it is there, so. You'll then go anyway on both sides from that, forward diagonally out with a purple, and then out with a crimson trap door and another purple. And I think we have one more pillar on this side, yeah. Hold on. The left is done, however the right, you'll see we have another pillar distance over. I would just make the entire thing again, so I would from this purple go back diagonally out with a cyan, then I'll just leave a gap of 4, another cyan here, 4 diagonally out with a purple, then I guess right with a trapdoor, and then another purple. And you can just make sure this end purple lines up with that corner. Although you'll kind of see that take effect later. So, that's fairly easy, I would say. From this point, it's kind of just self-explanatory, as we've done, again, several other times. Each purple you're bringing up by, was it 9 or 8? 9 up. Unless you already have purple, like over there, it'll only be 8. And then you would connect those purples together over at the top here. And I guess I'll bring this block up as well. And then in the center, on the next block up from this trapdoor, you'll place a crimson trapdoor at the top half. Purple above, trapdoor on top of that purple, and then another trapdoor at the far top. Fill in a block back from that with magenta terracotta. And that's the pillars. I will just rapid fire this, I guess. For the cyan, pretty much all the same. You're bringing each cyan up by, oh brother, I forgot, 6. Connecting the top 2 rows of cyan together. Filling in this bottom area with strip birch if you can. I know you'll have some spruce. You'll have an upside down warp slab in either top corner. And then we do have the arches out from this a block again. So a block above that, you'll have kind of a warp trap or warp slab off of this cyan, which will then be brought both down diagonally out 1 and down, or up diagonally in 1 as well, which will give you that. And you will want that for all of them. The only difference is the 3 block ones. So for 1, the andesite wall you're bringing up by 2. But everything else is pretty much the same with it. Basically, you would fill the rest in with strip birch. And then you would have the opposite on warp slab in either top corner. I guess only other thing is you'll have a warp slab just up diagonally, kind of forward from it off these cyans. And then you'll have an opposite on warp slab in between. Can't go out any further because you would have the pillar here. But yeah. hopefully that's self-explanatory enough. If you're ever confused, you can kind of just see how I'm doing it. Or I guess alternatively look back at the 7,000 others we've made. Another thing that I would point out is the strip birch in total should be 5 tall. If you're ever confused on that. Because that's one of the things that I do continue to forget is how tall that cyan should be. But, yeah. Anything fun to share as we're doing this? I don't think so. It's a whole lot of nothing. I did already share the SpongeBob thing, so it's about the only interesting thing I worked on today, I think. Wasn't there something else? I swear there was something else. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, no, never mind. There was. There's back rooms, though. Nothing really interesting. Probably by the time this is released, that will be, at least publicly, that'll be out. Anyway, the video. Oh, I misplaced that slab. That's cool. After this point, I don't think we have to deal with, like, any of this again. So that's good. I don't think the cyan arches appear again. But I could be wrong. I'm not, like, or not remembering them, rather. So, to me, that means they don't exist. Yeah, I don't think they... There's, like, an area in my brain is, like, maybe they show up, but I can't picture them, so I don't think they happen. I think I'm just making it up. Maybe I am thinking of the area we're working on, because this is kind of, I don't know, this area feels weird. Because it's, like, only these on this wall. Anyway, is that one side done? I missed a couple rows of magenta here, but yeah, I think there's more on the far side. We're already 16 minutes in, good lord. I, like, blinked, and we're halfway through the part. It's technically not half, that's more like a third. Over a third, but... Is it closer to a third than half? 4 minutes off from half. And like 3, maybe, yeah, it's about between a third and half. What would that be? Would that be sixths? Something in sixths. No, it'd be twelfths, I think, because 3/6 is half, 2/3 is... Or no, 2/6 is a third. So it would be... whatever that is in twelfths. For some reason, I can't build and think at the same time math. It's, 3/12? No, 5/12. I got there. You should have this. Now that that was important, I just wanted to do it. I don't know. I wanted to figure that out. So from this point, on top of each cyan, you should know the drill. You'll have your 2 rows of purple concrete with the purple carpet on top. The other thing is the gap on the right side, specifically, the one that you would actually go through in the game. Hold on, I'll get there. This one right here, you also want the purple kind of going across, in line with where the other purples are, so you can see where that specifically is. I just took basically the back row of the pillars here out of the 2, I guess, and just a row down, I have the 2 rows of purple. And I think there's one more after this. Yeah. And I think this is maybe why I don't have the purple on the other stuff. I don't know, because it's too thick here because of the magenta terracotta on this inside. You can add it if you want. I just didn't. Did I add it on the other one? No. Anyway. Should give you this. Did I add the purple? I did not add the purple. Well, it's all purple. I didn't add the carpet. That's what I was implying. You should end up with this. The next step is going to be taking the, again, the entrance point here, and off of the purple, you're going to place a crimson sabro on the bottom and an upside down crimson sabro on the top. Just to look, or give you that. Next up's the spires again. So clear your inventory and get out the following. Warp planks, warped stairs, levers, warped fence, and the waxed oxidized copper bars, like so. I keep forgetting to change those. Oh my goodness. You also actually need purple concrete again, because we do need to make sure that each of these pillars have a 3x3 space. So really just each top purple you'll bring back by 2. And for some of them, like here, you might have to fill down a little bit, just to make sure that you're filling in whatever gaps you have. There is no ceiling, by the way, here. You may have noticed that. Like, there's nothing here, because you can't see it, so why would I add it? But you can just, like, fill it in with stone or something if you really want. I might actually not recommend doing that, because you'll have these areas that will just get really complicated. So, are they both? No, they're different. Yeah, there's not really a good way to go about that, so I just don't. Anyway, for each of the purple concretes, you should know the drill. Warped plank on top of each top one, which should just be a 3x3. Center plank, you'll bring up by 2. Warped stair off each side of that bottom plank. Levers off of the side of each plank, where you can. And then on the tops of these corner planks, you want levers that are pointed towards these stairs on the left and the right here. You'll have to power some of them on, but yeah. And then the top plank here you'll bring up with 2 warp fences and your copper bar. Again, hopefully by this point you should have this one also memorized. It's not complicated. The only thing that is kind of complicated in any sense is the levers, but it's more so time consuming than complicated. And yeah. And then once we have this done, we can start doing the layout for the rest of this little area. This will be another one of those areas where I explain how I did the dirt, but I won't do any of it block for block. And oh, the floor is gonna be awful. I am telling you that right now. It's a whole lot of the strip spruce. Is there a section later that's worse? No, I don't think the big outside section has strip spruce, but I could be wrong, it might. Somehow it's gonna end up being worse, though. I just know it. I don't think it is. But, again, I don't entirely remember. So I'm just forgetting this top plank. That's crazy. I don't entirely remember what I did. I feel like red nether bricks and stone are involved, but it's not a checkerboard pattern. It's like a set pattern, like a design. I have 0 clue. And then there's sidewalks. I think like the beginning might have strip spruce. Why did I remove that? I needed that lever there. Whatever. We don't ask. Anyway. I'm conflicted right now because I have a bunch of tutorials I can record, and I'm like, do I want to continue recording this, or do I want to punch one of the like 4 out that I want to do as well? Actually, there's really 2 main ones, but there's a 3rd that I know I'm doing soon anyway, so that technically is in the conversation. Although, well, I guess I was gonna say that one I need to make a grid for, but that one's the only one that I guess would have a weird grid. The rest are pretty simple. Anyway, you should end up with this. I missed some levers, though, so you shouldn't end up with that. You should end up with... How did I miss those? That would have been from last part. Well, okay. Whatever. You should have this, anyway, once you officially have those levers in. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Birch planks. Oak planks. Birch slabs. Black concrete, I guess. Polished deep slate. Polished deep slate slabs. Moss blocks. Sandstone walls. And we'll leave it at that. So if you are looking at this area again, the wall that we just made, you want to take the... I'm going to start with the right side, I think. And you're going to be just off of the second to last pillar, which is this guy. From this bottom right purple, you want to extend 4 diagonally right by 11. Like so. I'm going to make sure that's correct. Yes, it is. You then want to take that end birch plank and extend it back by 14. Which would be towards you, I guess. I don't know why I keep flipping that. You'll then extend to the left with 9. Then up 3. Up diagonally left 1. Left 3. Down diagonally left 1. Down 3. Left 2. Up 3. Up diagonally left. Left 3. Down diagonally left. Down 3. And then left by 4. You then want to extend back, which would be towards that wall this time, so I guess away from you, with 2 or 3. Is it 3? It should be 3, I think. Yes, 3 polished deep set. I gotta check the other side for that. I'm going the right way. You will then extend left by 5. Back 2 again. Back diagonally left 3. Left. Back diagonally left. Left 3. Back diagonally left and left by 6. You can check this row, by the way. It should be centered with that pillar, like this center block is in line with this. And if you are there, then everything has been done correctly. Anyway, from there, you'll then go forward diagonally left. Left 3. Forward diagonally left. Left. Forward diagonally left 3. Forward 2. Then left by 5. Forward 2. Then place a birch plank. Extend it left 4. Up 3. Up diagonally left. Left 3. Down diagonally left. Down 3. Left 2. Up 3. Up diagonally left. Left 3. Down diagonally left. Down 3. Then left by 9. Then back forward towards the build by, was that 13? 14. Correction. And then you should just go kind of back diagonally right continually until you connect into this purple concrete pillar, which should be diagonally. Like so. And if you check from above, it's going to be hard to notice, but it should be perfectly symmetrical, what we've done. That won't last for long, though, because, well, actually, we're going to still keep it symmetrical for now. Connect these back birch planks together with more birch planks. Fill in the area between those birch planks and the polished deepslate with moss blocks in line with the polished deepslate. Like so. We'll probably end up bone mealing this later, but this stays as moss. It does not get changed to rooted dirt. So we just do it for the, like, bit of texturing. But that'll, I think, be next part, based on the timing we're at right now. Because the floor will probably be the last thing we do in this part, and then, yeah. Each polished deepslate block you will bring up with a slab. And then you will trace the inside of those slabs with sandstone walls, making sure they all connect properly. Just like so. Cool. You don't want to connect to the back or anything because we'll have a wall there. Ooh, there is a logo that is embedded in that wall, but I think I'm going to wait on actually doing anything with that. we're just going to fill pretty much. So on top of the, really the archway is kind of on both sides. You'll just place one row of oak planks on the tippy top of them. These like rows of 4 birch. What you can then do is fill up every single other birch plank to that same point with oak planks as well. Make sure you don't fill like in these doorways or archways. You shouldn't really have an issue with figuring that out since there's no birch at the bottom because they're walkways. But yeah, everything else you're just bringing up to whatever height, which would be this one. Is there a measurement that this is actually, like, interesting as opposed to the pillar? No, I think it's just going to be straight in the middle. Yeah, pretty much. Well, not directly in the middle. It's going to be a little over the middle, technically. Because this is 6 rows tall in total. The pillar would be 10. Right? I think that's correct. So it's going to be just over half, I guess. Anywho. And yeah, we'll just break in the logo whenever we get to that. I don't think that'll be this part either. I do actually think it's just going to be straight to the floor after this, so that'll be fun. Not actually. There's nothing fun about the floor. Because it is a large area, for sure. I think we're going to actually mark the other polished deep slate thing as well. Just because the less that we have to fill in, the better. Even if it is only like another 20 blocks less or something. This should give you this. You will place on top of each top oak plank a birch slab. Doesn't overhang, it doesn't do anything, it just is directly on top. Whee. Alright. There you go. The doorways on the left, a block behind them, you can fill them in with black concrete. The left being, if you're looking now from the way we would have come from, so kind of this way. If you're looking at this flat oak wall, that'll be pretty much the way we're going to look at it the rest of the way for this part and probably next part. Cool. And then those are the ones you'll actually go through, so we'll leave them open. The other thing is from the center here, you want to take the middle 5 polished deep slate, and leaving a gap of 1 extending forward from them, you'll place another row of 5 like so. I was actually correct when I said 20. It's exactly 20 less, which is kind of funny. Each side polished deep slate you'll bring forward by 3 and connect together there. Same thing, filling in the middle with moss and placing polished deep slate slabs around the perimeter. Just don't place the sandstone walls because that would take up the whole building area, and that's no good. Next up is going to be marking the rooted dirt, and great news for us, there's one section of it. Get out your rooted dirt, and at the right side here, you want to take from this corner, this would be the first birch plank here that is visible from the inside. You're taking the 5th forward, so 5th is here. And you're placing a rooted dirt kind of down in the floor. You'll extend it left by 6. And then just connect it all the way forward to wherever. And this little corner you'll fill in with rooted dirt. This is it, unfortunately. That should give you this. Anything else we can do before we do the floor? There really isn't anything convenient. Well, I guess we could technically do the brick wall, but I want to wait on that until later. So I'm going to, I think. It'll just be next part. So the rest of this part is just going to be the floor. So get out your strip spruce wood and start hammering away. It's the same pattern, that checkerboard kind of tiled thing, as we've done before. So basically off of this strip spruce, this one facing left to right, I'll place one facing back. Off either side of that, I'll have ones facing sideways. And then off of those, one facing back and etc, etc, etc. You can copy paste like sections of this. Is there even a chance I could take something from here? Yeah, like you could in theory. Of course it's the wrong way. Because I would have to then figure out where the corner of it is. Which isn't ideal, but I can still work with it. So if I place it here, it'll be... I want it to be an odd number, I think, right? 12? Yes. Yeah, I'd want it to be like a... I'll just say 12 by 12. And then I'll remove this, and I can do G. And then if I head here, I just know that the back right corner is sideways facing. So maybe I'll just, like, smack it here. And if I do G, that might take out that purple, actually. Can I go any further back? I technically can, yeah. I could go here, maybe. So yeah, I'll just build the diagonal line out and then smack a structure block and do that. And that should hopefully still line up. It didn't? Oh, because the corner wasn't... Ha, the corner... Whoopsies. The corner wasn't sideways. That was what I did wrong, I see. It was actually forward and backward. If you ever use structure blocks in an instance like this, always check to make sure that you're not screwing something up like that. Because it is very easy to screw up. Especially when you're doing a checkerboard pattern. Especially with one like this, you might not notice it for a while. And then when you do, it's a little too late, so... Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is there. That's a really unfortunate spot for there to be 12, but that's fine. And then it'd be here, and yeah, I'll just do it this way. I'm always about saving time if I can on these kinds of things, especially if it's just a giant floor. But yeah, I'd say overall this hasn't been terrible to start. It's definitely not the easiest of the major tutorials, but there have definitely been harder. This has been fun, and I guess that is also nice because I'm not really thinking the next one will be so fun, FNAF World. Not expecting that to be a jolly time, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. And I'll probably just manually fill the rest from this point because I'm in risk of breaking things. So, yeah, that is pretty much it though. If you want to skedaddle, there is nothing left other than just floor. So, next part, we're hopefully going to finish off this area and start working towards the bathroom hallway, which is cool. Yeah. And then it's kind of just a bunch of small rooms, so we're out of the outdoor area for a while. Until we're back for the well, not probably, the biggest part of the tutorial. Really, all the outdoor areas are the bad ones. The only other one that I'm just thinking about immediately that is scaring me is landing pad. Which will not be fun. But, you know, it could be worse. It could always be worse, I would think. But maybe not if it's a landing pad. That's one of the reasons I've also been so, like, about finishing Frankie, let alone doing a tutorial, is the sections with the rainbow blocks on that. One, they look awful, and two, it is a hand killer 101. Like, you think this is bad, that takes that to, like, an extra 12 levels higher. It's ridiculous. Because you're having to not only just fill in the blocks, you're having to switch your inventory every single time. It's real bad, but yeah, I just haven't, I don't know. Not even that Frankie's like the worst map I've ever made, it just isn't the greatest, and it isn't one I feel like is worth it. Sorry, I know some of you enjoyed that project. I think this is the second straight part I've mentioned this, isn't it? Mentioned Frankie? I don't know. It's been on my mind. What am I doing here? Good lord. Sometimes I just, like, forget. Not even. It just, like, I don't place the blocks right. I'm trying to do things, and it's just not working. I'm trying to, like, hold down mouse click more so I'm not spamming it. And it is placing more blocks than I want it to place. But, yeah. Hopefully by this point, FNAF World should have been announced. I don't know when that's releasing, obviously, because I haven't started it. But hopefully you should know. I don't know. I think that'll be more interesting than this one. This one is interesting just because of the build, but FNAF World is interesting because it's different. Like, very different. Even this, like, it's just a map, you know? I've done a million of these. So, I'm gonna actually take this row off for the tutorial purposes. But FNAF World is the first kind of 2D type thing that I've done. So, hopefully it'll be a enjoyable one and a good one. Anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 6 of Indigo Park Chapter 1 complete. We're getting somewhere, finally. Thank you guys for watching this video, and hope you guys did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, I forgot that I wouldn't have that. So true. Peace.